Senator Bato de la Rosa that Malacanang allegedly tapped a certain Mary Ann Maslog in an effort to link former President Duterte.
Who's Mary Ann Maslog?
Allegedly, she was stopped by Malacanang to link former PRRD Senator Bongo and Police Major General Carama to Pogo-related crimes.
No, I don't know anything about that. I don't know who this person is.
Sir, in relation to Pogo, sir, there's an information that Alice Go is being implicated by a Chinese spy named Xie Zhejiang, who's currently detained in Thailand. What's your reaction on this, sir?
Well, as this process has been going on, more and more people are coming out of the woodwork to help us in our investigations, and this is just, I think, another one of those. This is just a natural evolution of the hearings that are being conducted in the House, and I suppose the case build up, because cases will be filed, have been filed, and will be filed against them. So it's just a natural process, and we're at least of course this helps the effort. If people are willing to testify or are willing to provide information that will lead us to the truth, and that is what we are after.
Sir, ano na lang po yung recent efforts natin to address espionage, sir, sa Philippines?
Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about what you are doing to address espionage, and that would be that would be counterproductive.
The next question will come from Ramon. Thank you.
Hi, sir. China's actions in the South China Sea have been escalating, but ASEAN nations, say for Vietnam, have been deafeningly silent, if not neutral for the matter. What novel strategies can the ASEAN adopt in order to prevent further Chinese aggression in the South China Sea? What was the intention of raising maritime tensions at the ASEAN-China Summit when countries usually take it up in other forums like the EAS or the ARF?
Well, we take every opportunity that we can, again, to make the Philippine position clear. Our intent really is at this point, what we are doing is trying to manage the situation. There's all of us who have been working on this problem for a while. Have come to the conclusion there's no silver bullet here that will solve the problems immediately. So we have to just manage it so that there's no conflict, that it does not erupt into a hotter confrontation than it already is. So what we in the Philippines' approach to maintaining and to protecting our sovereignty is to keep a presence. Basta't meron tayong barko doon, meron tayong mangingisda, meron tayong presence doon sa bawat lugar. Ngayon, kung meron mga mangyayari na ini-intimidate yung ating mga fishermen o hinaharang yung ating mga barko, yung mga Coast Guard, we'll just have to deal with it. But nonetheless, whatever happens, we will maintain that presence. Because it is important to show the world and our people that we are in the business of protecting our sovereignty. We are in the business of maintaining of protecting our territorial imperatives. We are insisting on exercising our sovereign rights.
Sir, it was the Philippines that first proposed the creation of a code of conduct in the South China Sea. When we couldn't get that, the Philippines pushed for the adoption of a Declaration of Conduct in 2002, and we're hosting the ASEAN in 2026. Will we push for the conclusion of the COC?
Every single day we push for the conclusion of COC, because then that will provide the basis I'm sure that will come when the time if and when we have that COC. Then it will lay down the rules for everyone to follow, and it will stabilize the situation. That's why it is so important. That's why I don't want to make it a small matter. that we push. We really push. In fact, in almost every one of my interventions here at this ASEAN summit, we mentioned that and say that the solution for now to this is, well, no, not for now. The solution in the end will be to have a COC, and we are always pushing for it to. We're always pushing for. We have to accelerate the negotiations. We have to define our terms already as quickly as possible, so we can talk about the issues. That's a very important part of our argument.
Sir, last question, sir. So with that in mind, how do you think the ASEAN should accelerate those talks? You've pushed it in your interventions. How do you think the other ASEAN member countries would accelerate?
I think the onus is now on China to accelerate those talks. ASEAN has been waiting for a long time.
That's about it, Mr. President.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. So
Yes.
maybe just get your reaction on the allegation of Senator Bato de la Rosa that Malacanang allegedly tapped a certain Mary Ann Maslog in an effort to link former President Duterte.
Who's Mary Ann Maslog?
Allegedly, she was stopped by Malacanang to link former PRRD Senator Bongo and Police Major General Karamat to Pogo-related crimes.
No, I don't know anything about that. I don't know who this person is.
Sir, in relation to Pogo, sir, there's an information that Alice Go is being implicated by a Chinese spy named Shel Zhejiang, who's currently detained in Thailand. What's your reaction on this, sir?
Well, as this process has been going on, more and more people are coming out of the woodwork to help us in our investigations, and this is just, I think, another one of those. This is just a natural evolution of the hearings that are being conducted in the House, and I suppose the case build up, because cases will be filed, have been filed, and will be filed against them. So it's just a natural process, and we're at least of course this helps the effort. If people are willing to testify or are willing to provide information that will lead us to the truth, and that is what we are after.
Sir, ano na lang po yung recent efforts natin to address espionage, sir, sa Philippines?
Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about what you are doing to address espionage, and that would be counterproductive.
The next question will come from Ramon. Thank you.
Hi, sir. China's actions in the South China Sea have been escalating, but ASEAN nations, save for Vietnam, have been deafeningly silent, if not neutral, for the matter. What novel strategies can the ASEAN adopt in order to prevent further Chinese aggression in the South China Sea?
Establish clearer obligations and enhance humanitarian coordination.
One way for this to happen is funding climate solutions. Masatsugu Asakawa, president and chair of Asia Development Bank's board, says international institutions must step up to further develop resilience in the face of climate challenges.
We can enhance financial resources and knowledge for DRR. Second, promote budgetary processes that respond to risk. And third, strengthen the enabling environment for DRR.
Such efforts are already seen in the private sector in the Philippines. This was highlighted by Ayala Corporation Chair Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala, who said that businesses are now better at adapting to the effects of extreme weather events following Super Typhoon Yolanda.
Telecommunications arm started to invest in more typhoon-resilient cell towers. Ayala Land, in turn, our real estate company, continues to incorporate disaster-related data in their estate planning, ensuring our properties are resilient, sustainable, and valuable.
The commitments we make to science, innovation, and investments can fundamentally transform our risk landscapes and will determine the future of our communities.
financing climate solutions, and, more importantly, the collaboration between the public and private sectors is seen to yield better results towards preventing disasters and ensuring the protection of thousands of lives and livelihood. Rafael Bosano, ABS-CBN News.
The Philippine Tourism Department wants to make the country a regional health and wellness hub as it eyes a bigger slice of the $800 billion global market. Jackie Pascual tells us more.
The Philippines is hosting the International Health and Wellness Tourism Congress as it eyes to become a regional health and wellness hub. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco says the country is suited to become a major player in this sector because of the quality of private medical facilities as well as highly skilled Filipino healthcare workers coupled with low costs compared to other countries.
Napaka-competitive ng pricing ng Pilipinas in terms of its ability to offer health and wellness tourism packages, and most importantly, yung aruga ng Pilipino is really second to none. The ability to exercise genuine passion, care and compassion para sa ating mga pasyente ay isa sa ating mga napakagandang assets ng health and wellness tourism.
Frasco adds that there are about 250,000 health and wellness visitors per year. Most of them go for medical treatment, dental care, go to skin and beauty clinics, or visit a spa. The tourism department hopes that number could hit 1 million in the coming years. Market research firm and event organizer Agora also believes that is doable for the Philippines.
Focuses on the well-being and on the health of the individual. So this goes for spa treatment, for prevention of disease, and for the treatment of disease. And I strongly believe that the Philippines has immense potential in developing this segment and in becoming one of the world leaders in it.
Agora says the Philippines just needs to continue.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
just a
SP
related
Pro
question.
Tempore.
Madam Alice, spiya ka ba talaga?
Sen, hindi po ako spy. Hindi po ako spiya po.
Bakit nasabi ni Shezing yan yung nirecord yun sa Al Jazeera?
Sen, kaya hihingi din po ako ng tulong po sa inyo. Tulungan niyo po ako mag-imbestiga. Hindi po ako spy. At para naman po, hindi po ako magmukhang kawawa
Sa
talaga.
dami ng tao na pwede niya banggitin, ikaw pa binanggit niya.
Tingin ko po, baka gusto lang din po niya ng media mileage ko po ngayon kasi sobrang taas po ng media mileage ko po ngayon. Possible po.
Ibig sabihin, ginamit ka lang nitong si Shezijang?
Para sa akin po kasi hindi ko po siya kilala.
Kung walang apoy, walang sunog. Kaya nga, inulit ko, bakit sa dami-dami ng tao, ikaw ang pinili niya na sabihin ikaw ay isang spiya?
Sen, tingin ko po, dalawa lang po yan. Para sa akin po, kailangan po niya siguro ng media mileage po ngayon. Baka meron po siya ibang motibo po. Pero ako po, hindi po ako spy at hindi ko po siya kilala.
Sa tingin mo, ano motibo niya para banggitin ang pangalan mo na isa kang spiya?
Sen, maganda rin po yung narinig ko po kanina kay Madam Chair na through our government agency po, sana po ma-invite po natin siya kahit through Zoom meeting lang din po para malaman din po natin kasi hindi po ako spy at hindi ko po talaga siya kilala.
Madam Chair, I will just reserve my line of questioning later.
Thank you, SP Pro Tempore. And for the record, ang Al Jazeera po ay isang internationally renowned media outfit. I think opinion yan at kaalaman yan shared across this committee. So I think nasa floor na, yes, yung ating DFA resource person. Sir, for the record, yung pangalan po ulit ninyo at saka patungkulan sa department.
Madam Chair, I am Acting Director of Online Pang with the Passport Division. I am also accompanied by Assistant Director Amer Tago of our Legal Affairs Office.
Thank you, Director Pangwi. So 4 days ago, sinabi po ng department nyo na it's closely monitoring reports of foreign covert operations in the Philippines. So yung mga revelations po, Sir Wang Fugwe, dun sa Al Jazeera report, at pati sa Zoom interview namin, nagda-dovetail po ba sa na-monitor ng DFA so far?
Regarding this issue, I think I should defer to Attorney Amer Tago of our
Attorney
District
Tago, pakibaba po sa floor at sa mic. Nakapag-sumpa rin po kayo kanina, no? Kasama ni Director Pangwi. Hindi. Comsec, paki-administer yung oath kay Attorney Tago. Salamat, Comsec. Salamat, Attorney Tago. Yes, please. Attorney, nagtanong po ako sa department if you could seek help from the Thai government to allow us access to Shi Zhejiang, considering that he may have possibly no material information pertinent to this hearing. At bakit nga po pala hindi napaunlakan yung request namin na magka-access kay Shi Zhejiang? Ang sabi po sa amin ng Philippine Embassy sa Bangkok na iniintay pa po yung advice ng department.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Recently, we received a communication from the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok, Thailand, regarding your request, ma'am, for assistance regarding the possible interview of Mr. Ji Jiang in Bangkok. And they informed us they reached out to your office, ma'am, raising particular certain political concerns that may have diplomatic consequences. And they are seeking the advice of the Department of Foreign Affairs on other possible avenues in order to accommodate the request due to the political diplomatic consequence that may be born because of.
Pay later, pay in installments kahit walang credit card, Bilis yan. Bilis is the leading buy now.
Because of the request. One possible avenue, Madam, is we noticed that the request may have criminal implications. Because of this, the request may be coursed through a mutual legal assistance request. We note that the Philippines and Thailand are contracting parties to the ASEAN Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters. And under the treaty, it provides that the contracting parties may provide the widest possible measure of mutual legal assistance in criminal matters, namely investigations, prosecutions, and resulting proceedings. So under the treaty, it's not even required that there be a pending criminal case in court. It is sufficient that there be an investigation. It is also not specified under the treaty on who will conduct the investigation. So the Senate may, the investigations in the Senate may be sufficient to cover the request under the MLA. We note that the treaty provides that it pertains only to criminal matters, but there is actually nothing preventing the Senate in order to endorse or recommend the proper filing of appropriate charges with the DOJ. We also note that in MLA request, it is only the central authority who has the authority to make that request. And in the Philippines, the central authority is the DOJ, ma'am.
Salamat, Attorney Tago. Very respectful yung aming komite at yung buong Senado dun sa inexpress na political concerns or diplomatic concerns ng embassy natin sa Thailand seeking advice of DFA. Well noted na this situation may have criminal implications, and helpful din yung input nyo na baka ma-course through yung initial request namin na receive ng embassy, naghihintay ng payo sa department through the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. Gayong contracting parties nga ang bansa natin at ang bansang Thailand. As to the filing of appropriate charges with the DOJ, nandito rin naman po ang DOJ and I'm sure and I hope that magko-coordinate sila sa inyong department. I hope also, Attorney, narinig niyo po kanina, pinahayag ko na we really need to talk to Shi Zhejiang. By we, kung hindi na timely na ang aming komite, then the government, the executive, no? Sa pamamagitan ng inyong department, binanggit nyo na nga po yung DOJ, and of course, our intelligence community na may mandate at expertise tignan yung ganitong mga issue. I hope that your department can make these things happen. Na hindi lang maiwan sa isang Al Jazeera report or Zoom interview namin sa Senate committee at sa office ko, pero ma-take up talaga ng executive natin through the DFA. Ang DFA po ba nagpo-commit para kung kakayanin, no, within this time to make the necessary arrangements so that the Senate can speak to Shi Zhejiang, Attorney Tago?
Madam Chair, we will coordinate with the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok because they are the best persons to analyze the political climate in Thailand and whether our request can be accommodated by the government of Thailand. We will coordinate with the Philippine Embassy to make a formal written reply to your request, ma'am.
Salamat para doon, Attorney Tago. And pwede bang makuha din yung commitment ng DOJ? Sino nga po ang nandirito para sa DOJ? Comsec, sino yung ating DOJ resource person? Yes, pakibaba po sa floor, sir. Were you able to take the oath today or previously? Yes, sir, if you could come up to a mic. Pwede bang mahingi yung commitment ng department para i-access yung binanggit na mutual assistance treaty soonest? Your name pala, sir, again for the record.
Yes, Madam Chair, good afternoon. Prosecutor Gadula po from DOJ. Yes,
Prosecutor
we will coordinate with DFA, Madam Sen, regarding that treaty, and we will exert all efforts so that we could be able to get the cooperation of the witness that we like to get the testimony form.
Thank you, Prosecutor Gatdula. And just back to DFA, kasi kayo nga po daw po yung mas proper person sagutin yung naunang tanong. Itong mga reports of covert activities, foreign covert operations in the Philippines, lumilitaw na po ba sa monitoring ng DFA? Yung revelations, particular ni Wang Fugue, both sa Al Jazeera documentary, tapos yung aming Zoom interview sa kanya.
Madam Chair, with respect to any possible covert or espionage cases, the Office of the Treaties and Legal Affairs has not yet received any information with regards to this matter, but we will coordinate with other offices of the Department of Foreign Affairs, particularly our geographic offices and our Office of the Consular Affairs, who has data with respect to passports, the data passport of possible Chinese or foreign citizens who are able to secure a passport with the DFA.
Salamat para doon, Attorney Tago, kasi nung pagkatapos naming ipakita yung Zoom interview kay Wang Fugue, pinakita din po namin yung nakuha naming travel documents nila. So apparently they have passports, itong si Shi Zhejiang at yung Ma Dongli, and may record ng sangkatutak na mga visas na nagamit nila. I think, if I saw correctly, since the 1980s, both CESA visas and at least 2 other kinds of visas. Di ba importante po sa department na posibleng may impormasyon si Shi Zhejiang tungkol sa foreign influence agents dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi kung kayo ay closely monitoring, dapat po ay itong malinaw na action point ay gagawin nyo na po, attorney.
Ma'am, Madam Chair, with the respect to the passport matters, I will defer, ma'am, to our acting director Von Pangui, ma'am, who is the acting director of the Office of the Consular Affairs.
Okay.
Madam
But,
Chair, Madam Chair, if I
yes,
may, if I may.
Send
May I
Joel
just
and then send
pause a parliamentary
Yes,
inquiry?
Senator.
Yes.
You know, Madam
Senator
Chair,
Joe.
first of all, I'm just disappointed, Madam Chair, that every single department, agency that would come here seems to be not aware of our topic and what we will be discussing here. And there's not much preparation at all going on. I've been here for 4 hours today. 4 hours. I've been here 9:30, 9:40. And I would like to ask, and again, ask the committee, the request of this representation. We have been asking for so long, since the first hearing of this committee, about the thought process, the protocols that come with all these departments, whether it's Bureau of Immigration, National Bureau of Investigation, Department of Justice, etc. Hanggang ngayon po, Madam Chair, wala akong nare-receive. I just don't know kung nag-submit na po sila dito sa committee. And if they don't submit it, Madam Chair, I'm making a commitment that come budget deliberation of these agencies, I will defer their budget immediately, Madam Chair. Dahil parang walang nag-aaral dito sa atin kundi mga senador.
Comsec, could we know kung may nakapag-submit na ng mga protocols? So, and this will be made available to Senator Joel and the other members of the committee. Yung mga nagsumite na po ng kanilang mga protocols sa pag-imbestiga ng ganitong mga POGO-related issues na ating dinidinig ay yung NBI, salamat po, at yung CAAP, salamat po. So the others have yet to submit. Senator Joel.
Thank you, NBI and CAAP.
Yes.
So wala pa hong sinubmit ang Bureau of Immigration. Wala rin sinubmit yung ilang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Yung PNP, wala pa rin sinubmit. Kaya ho tayo nakakalungkot para tayo mga tatanga-tanga pag yung Al Jazeera nakita na natin, tapos sasabihin natin, o sige, maniwalaan na natin yan. Kasi wala pa rin tayo hanggang ngayon nagagawa. Wala pa rin initial report. Wala pa rin report na binibigay dito. Hingi kami ng hingi sa inyo. Para saan pa yung budget na binibigay sa inyo? Gusto ko lang sabihin yan, Madam Chair. And I'm just so pissed that every time we invite somebody from the government, whether it's a bureau or a department, an agency, mag-aakal naman kayo pag pupunta kayo dito and anticipate already what we will be asking. Please, Madam Chair, I'm just not happy the way we're being treated by these agencies. Akala nyo, alam nyo, totoo, mapagpasensya kami, mababait itong mga senador, pero hindi kami tanga para lokohin nyo at paligoy-liguhin ninyo. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Joel.
Madam
So
Chair.
serving notice to the other agencies who have yet to submit, pakisubmit within this hearing. Wag nyo na pong intayin yung motion ni Senator Joel. Senator De La Rosa.
Yes, Madam Chair, at to follow up to the comments made by Senator Villanueva, how I wish, Madam Chair, na in a hearing as important as this, dapat siguro yung Secretary of Foreign Affairs ang andito dahil kung sino-sino pinapadala dito, parang nagpapasahan, Turo, I will defer to, Turo, I will defer to, Madam Chair. So, dapat siguro yung head of that agency ang andito dahil tayo, you can just imagine the effort that we are exerting here. This is a matter of national security, Madam Chair. Baka hindi lang niyo na-realize kayo sa DFA, baka iniisip niyo puro diplomatic lang trabaho ninyo. Please naman, you should bigyan ninyo ng konting pagtingin yung national security aspect ng iyong trabaho. Yung request ng committee na ito, sana bilisan ninyo. Pati na rin sa DOJ. Huwag tayong maghintay na one day pagising natin. Lahat ng mayor dito, lahat ng gobernador, mga Chinese na. At puro mga pugo, Pugo people na ang may hawak na ating gobyerno. Siguro, mahirap, Madam Chair, yung nakita tayo, consistent tayo dito sa ating effort. Tapos yung taga-executive department is kung sino-sino pinapadala, pabago-bago yung tao. At wala. Dapat siguro, we have to require the head of agency. For this matter, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs should be here to answer all our queries. Madam Chair, I so move.
Salamat, Senator De La Rosa. That's a very important, not just sentiment, but thought kasi siguro pangatlong hearing na ito na sinasabi nating pasara na tayo, patapos na sana. And we're really looking at answering to a significant degree several important issues. Kaya I agree with what Senator De La Rosa has expressed na sana suklian din ng executive agencies natin yung pag-estima na ibinibigay ng mga senador sa pag-imbestiga dito na sana naging present sila dito sa posibleng huling pagdinig na natin bago i-adjourn itong investigasyon. And so I don't know if there is still time for them to remedy that within today. Pero maraming salamat, dagang salamat para dyan, Senator De La Rosa. Was that a motion that I heard from the good senator?
Yes, I am putting that as a motion. If we are going to have another hearing, which I suppose meron pa, then I am going to make that motion na sana yung secretary na para wala na pasahan ng no more passing of the buck.
In that case po, Senator De La Rosa, kung pwede niyong i-hold in abeyance yung pag-act ng ating komite sa inyong motion as we approach the end of this hearing dahil actually iniisip ko talaga pa-adjourn na tayo ng ating pagdinig. Lalo na tumuntong na tayo dun sa sinabi niyo ang napaka-importanting usapin ng national security. Binanggit ko naman earlier nung palang pagkatapos ng raid sa Bamban Pogo Hub, yung ganyang mga aligasyon na ngayon mukhang mas napapatunayan ng mga ebidensyeng nakakalap natin. So
Madam Chair, if I may, and I admire
Joel.
the motion filed by our dear colleague, and I know for a fact that even if we close the hearing, Madam Chair, of this particular committee, the committees of the Senate will continue to function and will call for hearings because this is, there's a lot of issues that we have unearthed here in this particular hearing. So perhaps, Madam Chair, in the next caucus of the all members caucus of this institution, let us make sure that we ask the secretary or at least the USEC level because and with all due respect to yung mga nauutusan ng secretary at departments dito, si Attorney Tago is acting director. So acting director pa, tapos assistant prosecutor. So hilingin naman po natin, Madam Chair at dear colleagues, and I'm appealing to all of you na kung hindi man secretary, at least yung undersecretary na may alam dun sa usapin natin, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Joel. And I appreciate the presence of, if not the heads of agencies, but salamat sa BI, then the second in command, like of NBI, the head of PAOK, USEC din, yung mga higher level na mga resource persons na nandirito ngayon, nagpapakita ng pag-estima sa ating investigasyon. So just to go back at this point, and salamat kaayo to Senator De La Rosa for holding in abeyance the action of the committee on his motion till towards the end of today's hearing. So Attorney Tago, sinabi nyo na DFA can request access to SHE from the Thai government, sabi nyo na sa ilalim ng mutual legal assistance treaty. Hindi naman natin extradite dito eh. Ang hinihingi lang natin ay makausap siya ng ating mga otoridad, kayo din sa executive. And I just want to make this of record, dear colleagues. The reason this is important to me is this. I have persuasive information that the file of at least one young brother is with SHE, conforming that young brother as a foreign agent. Kaya napaka-importante po makapag-establish ng communication kay SHE, sa sa pamamagitan ng Thai government sa ilalim niyang Mutual Assistance Treaty dahil mukhang yung buong gobyerno natin, hindi lang kami sa legislature, kayo po sa executive, may makukuhang importanteng impormasyon para sa proteksyon ng ating gobyerno laban sa ganitong mga foreign covert operations. And lastly, Attorney Tago, for the DFA today, yung pangalan po bang Ma Dongli, lumitaw na po ba sa radar ng department?
Madam Chair, I will defer, Madam Chair, to our Acting Director Van Pongwi with respect to, I believe it has, but
All right, let's hear it straight
I
from the
will,
acting director in charge. Yes, Acting Director Pangwi, please, if you could take the mic again. So, lumitaw na po ba sa radar nyo yung pangalang Ma Dongli?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. The name Ma Dongli so far, as for consular, has not yet been raised. Normally, for consular, we deal, if not for passports, for visa applications, but as for info, it hasn't been raised yet.
Okay. Pero nakita nyo naman sa photos namin, sangkatutak na visas na ang natanggap nitong Ma Dongli. Tulad ng sangkatutak na visas ni Shi Zhejiang from at least 3 sources, including CESA and 2 other sources.
Yes, ma'am. We take note of this. For the information of the body, Madam Chair, the DFA only issues tourist entry visas into the country. And normally, before we issue entry visas, we need to get clearance from 2 other agencies, the Bureau of Immigration and the and NICA, before we issue from our foreign service posts visas, tourist visas for entry to the Philippines. Upon entry to the Philippines, it's up to the other agencies whether they will grant other SRIVs or other visas for longer stay here in the country.
Salamat, Director Pangwi, which brings home the point again and again na ang gulo-gulo kasi ang dami-dami nating ahensyang nag-i-issue ng visas tapos walang consolidation sa database, walang checking, cross-referencing, kaya nalulusutan ang isa o ilan until it comes to an investigation like this in the Senate. Kaya matagal na ring nasisilip ng aming komite na yun yung isang remedial legislation para i-tighten at isara yung mga gaps sa ating mga institusyon at sa ating mga proseso tulad ng visa issuance. Yes, Senator Sherwin.
Madam Chair, si Ma Dongli is not, hindi siya bago sa bansa natin. In fact, checking the flights from 1995 to 2018, he traveled to the Philippines 37 times. No? And then si Shi Zhejiang, hindi na rin bago sa atin, from 2011 to 2020, he traveled to the Philippines 21 times. No? So, labas-pasok sila sa ating bansa. And we all know that si Mr. She nakulong sa Thailand for the same crimes, no? Human trafficking, scamming, and other criminal activities. Ma Dongli is a partner of Mr. She in the Yatay Myanmar company, which operates yung Pogo Hub sa Myanmar. No? So, in other words, magkasama itong dalawang to. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sherwin. At hindi rin bago sa ating komite yung pangalang Yatay kasi yun yung pinagtrabahuan nung 11 mga Pilipinong na human traffic. Akala nila papunta silang trabaho sa Bangkok, tinraffic sila dun sa Shwekoko region sa Myanmar, sa Yatay din. At dun sila kinailangang i-rescue noon ng mga international NGOs, mga anti-trafficking advocates sa Myanmar, Thailand border at ng ating Philippine Embassy, hindi sa Yangon pero sa Bangkok, kasama nung ilang mga kasamahan natin dito sa Senado. So,
Madam Chair?
Yes, Senator De La Rosa.
Meron ba tayong BI dito?
Meron po. Actually, sila yung susunod na tatanungin ko. All right,
Yes.
you may take first crack at it,
Yeah,
Senator De La Rosa.
Yeah, Madam Chair. Attorney Viado,
Yes, boss.
nakita na naman niyo yung mukha ni Madong Lee.
Yes, boss.
Yeah. I hope hindi tayo pagtatawanan nitong mga tao na ito because kung meron tayong sasabing sino bang above kay James Bond? Manood ka na sine.
Si M po, sir.
Yung above kay James Bond, yung
Si-
handler ni James Bond,
Si M.
M. Si M.
Yes,
Kung meron man tayong may M ni James Bond, ito na yun, yung M ng China. Chinese intelligence. Sana huwag tayong pagtatawanan nito mga tao na ito pabalik-balik sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, hearing tayo. Nanonood yan ngayon, tawa yan ng tawa sa atin. Tapos mamaya, kinabukasan, it's a challenge tayo. Nabiyahin na naman yan, papasok sa Pilipinas. At our expense. At our national security expense. At our national interest expense. At our national pride expense. Na ginaganon tayo ng mga tao na ito. Sana kayo sa Bureau of Immigration, gawan na kagad nyo ng alert. I don't know how you do it. Basta pag makita nyo itong tao na ito na papasok sa Pilipinas, kunin nyo kaagad. I don't know how you do it. You know, kayo naman ang immigration, di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Oh, kunin nyo kaagad itong tao na ito. They'll dispose a great danger to our country.
Will do po, Your Honor.
Yung tao na ito, kung meron bang mas above kay James Bond, mas mataas ito kay James Bond, siguruhin natin ito.
Will do po.
Para hindi tayo pagtatawanan.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Salamat kaayo, Senator De La Rosa. Since on board na kayo,
Yes po.
Commissioner Chair YC Viado.
Good afternoon po, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. We requested po from the Bureau a copy of the flight records of Matong Lee.
Yes po.
So do you have this with you and can you confirm that Mr. Ma has entered the Philippines? Sasabihin ko sana more than 20 times, pero ayon kay Senator Sherwin, more than 30 times since the 1990s. Can you do you have the flight records po and can you confirm these facts?
Yeah, I have the flight records and previously, Your Honor, we submitted a copy to your office po, Your Honor. Ang summary po namin dito, the first arrival of Mr. Ma Dong Lee was in 28 May 1995.
Okay.
Ang first departure po niya was 06 November 1995.
Mhm.
Ang latest departure po niya, 27 June 2018. And latest arrival is 22 June 2018. And as per our record, he already left the country on 27 June 2018 and has not yet returned.
Alright.
As to the exact number po ng times of travel po, I can give you a copy so that we can be very definitive about the number po, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Madam Chair.
Commissioner. Yes, Senator De La
I just
Rosa.
would like to advise BI
Yes po.
that itong tao na ito, kung ito ay talagang member ng Ministry of Security Services
Apo.
ng China, he can assume other identities. In fact, mayroon pa nga tayong information na may American identity pa ito siya eh. So, siguro, as far as your official record is concerned, as Madong
Lee.
Madong Lee.
yun lang hanggang 2018. Baka hindi natin alam na pabalik-balik pa rin yan dito, assuming other identity. So, we should double time our effort here, Commissioner.
Yes po, sir. We
Thank
will
you.
attend to it right away.
Thank
and
you.
exhaust all possibilities. And thank you for that.
Salamat po, Senator De La Rosa. And Commissioner Viado,
Yes po, Your Honor.
can you also confirm na si Ma Dong Lee has used various visas from a CESA visa to a 9A visa to an MCL 09-006 visa. May pang-apat pa pala. May pang visas kesa sa natanggap ko sa tanang buhay ko.
Sa 22 June 2018, naka-MCL 09-006 po siya.
Okay.
And in 1997, meron po siyang Special Investor Resident Visa.
Mhm. SIRV tulad ng
SIRV
meron
po.
dati si Lin Wenyi.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mhm.
And meron po siyang CESA Visa in 2014.
Mhm. And yung 9A visa.
Yung
nagkaroon
9A
din siya.
visa, meron din po siya. Your Honor.
Okay. And kung totoo po yung sinabi ni Mr. Wang Pugwe sa Al Jazeera at sa Zoom interview namin, kung totoo yun, ibig sabihin, may miyembro ng Ministry of State Security ng China na nagkaroon ng multiple visas dito sa ating bansa. So, and tiningnan din po namin ang mga visa naman ni Shi Jiang. Ganun din. May 9A visa, may CESA visa din.
Meron po.
Meron din po. And
Meron
confirmed po ng BI.
Yes po, yeah.
Wow. Okay. By the way, can you give us an update po dun sa status ng investigasyon nyo dun sa pag-eskapo ni Guo Huaping at yung party niya?
Thank you very much for your honor. Yung first theory po namin was the subject entered Malaysia via sea. Ang second theory po, she entered it via air. Now, meron po, Your Honor, initial report that we submitted informally to your office. I would like to take this opportunity also to apologize to Senator Villanueva. Ma'am, sir, nagbibigay po kami ng updated reports po kay Madam Chairperson. Yun lang po, informally po, Your Honor. Because as committed by the Bureau of Immigration, we wanted to give you updates as to how the investigation is ongoing. The investigation is still pending and we will get into the truth of the matter. Ito po yung second phase ng report po namin, albeit admittedly incomplete pa po, ay ibibigay po namin ngayon. Ang naging basis po namin in making the report on the international airports of entry and exit are the following. First, we got the attendance record of all international airport terminals from July 1 to 2024. Second, we got the submitted reports of flights by terminal heads in all international airport terminals from July 1 to 31, 2024. We also got the submitted reports by yung IPROBS team po namin, yan yung nagko-conduct ng secondary inspection in the international airport terminals from July 1 to 2024. We also got the consolidated summary of documents evidencing chartered and special flights in selected international airport terminals from July 1, 2024 to August 15, 2024. We got the certifications from terminal heads of international airport terminals attesting that the persons in interest did not pass through inspection in their respective jurisdictions. We also got subsequent sworn certificates from the terminal heads reiterating their declaration in compliance with the directive of the Bureau for them to submit the reports and certifications. We also got Pag-asa weather forecasts and advisories issued for the period of July 1 to 25, 2024. And lastly, we got other information from personal inquiries with terminal heads. This report, Your Honors, can be provided to the members of the committee for your perusal and further study.
If I may, Madam Chair, I think the million-dollar question is, in that particular documents that you were sharing with us, saan po doon yung unang na-citan sila Guo Huaping?
If Your Honor would permit me, if I can continue on with the report, and then I will reveal it.
Please include that in the course of your full report.
Thank you.
One relevant data that we were able to gather was the July 2024 weather, Your Honors. Based on Pag-asa, there was no existing tropical depression or significant weather anomaly that may negatively affect small boat travel in the west and southwest area for the period July 1 to 15, 2024. However, relevant data will show that there may already be significant adverse effects in sea travel starting July 16 because of the buildup of Buchoy. It was on 19 to 21 July 2024 that both Buchoy and Karina fully developed from being a tropical depression in the southwest monsoon to tropical storms. Buchoy left the Philippine area of responsibility on 20 July 2024, while Karina wreaked havoc in the Philippines until 25 July 2024. Notwithstanding the foregoing, air flights were only delayed or moved. But this lowers the possibility of going the route via sea because of the tropical depression and then the typhoons which eventually developed. In the analysis, we also focused on special flights as taking a commercial flight would be highly risky, considering that the persons in interest are, high profile. So strict screening and surveillance, airports have strict security protocols, including identity verification through passports and government-issued IDs, making it highly likely that the persons in interest would be flagged during security checks. Flight databases and watch lists. The persons in interest have been included in an immigration lookout bulletin, and such issuance could trigger immediate effects and alerts to law enforcement.
Madam
Board-
Chair, if I may.
Yes, Senate
Yes, sir.
President
If
Pro
I just
Tempore.
may interrupt, Attorney
Yes, sir.
Diado.
Yes, po.
You mentioned earlier that airports were very strict.
Yes, po.
All right. If, for example, I've mentioned this earlier in one of my privileged speeches, the persons in interest, especially Alice Go, took a chartered plane, a private
Yes.
plane, in a small airport na walang kaap, walang representative of kaap, walang representative ng BI, wala talagang government official.
Yes, po. That's possible, Your Honor. It's very much
For
possible.
example, sa isang maliit na airport, halimbawa sa Naga, yung mga hindi masyado ginagamit na airport, halimbawa sa Samar, may mga airports na maliliit doon.
Opo. Marami pong mga private airstrips, Your Honor, all over the Philippines. The exact figure is not with us, but we can confirm with
But you cannot say that they are very strict because
Yes.
they are walang representatives from CAAP.
That's
How
correct.
can they monitor the flights over there?
That's correct, Your Honor. Monitoring is going to be a problem in that case. And
So it's possible.
it's possible, very much
That is
possible.
one theory. That it's possible for them, the persons in interest, to escape.
It's very much namin, pati po mga flying schools, may mga private
Yes.
airspace po dyan.
Si
Na pwede hong
Kinesi
gamitin.
maraming pera ito, bayaran na lang yung kung sino man involved.
Mhm.
Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah. That's very much possible. And
Thank
the
you,
third
SP Pro Tempore. Please continue.
The third option, pwede pong hybrid. Meron pong flight and then merong via sea. But very telling, we have to consider, Your Honors, the passport stamps saying that July 18, 2024, the subject entered Kuala Lumpur International Airport. And then the other stamp po, which states that July 19 sa Sabah. I have to reiterate, Your Honors, that this is a pending investigation, ongoing investigation. And we had to do verification and validation on our own. And based on our validation, it was confirmed what Senator Contiveros said, that the subject, Alice Go, entered Kuala Lumpur International Airport on July 18 at 12:17. We thank Your Honors for pointing
Because
us in the right
after
direction.
Senator Risa delivered her privilege speech that and revealed that Alice Go was already in Malaysia, and then you denied it the next day. You were not aware of it. Buti pa si Senator Risa alam, kayo hindi alam.
We would like to thank Senator Contiveros regarding that.
Ibig mo sabihin, mas magaling intelligence niya sa office niya kaysa sa inyo.
Your Honors, we
Labo naman nun.
we would like to thank Senator Contiveros for pointing us in the right direction, but we had to confirm also on our own, Your Honor, and it
But you
corroborated.
denied it the next day.
Your Honor,
That Alice Go was still in the country after the privilege speech delivered by Senator Risa.
if I may, Your Honor, I wasn't the one who denied it.
Oh,
I wasn't the YC, Your Honor.
Yes, it was the Bureau at
It
the
was the Bureau,
time.
yeah.
And now we are hearing the report of the same Bureau, their latest ongoing findings.
And
After she delivered her privilege speech that Alice Go left the country, the next day you denied that she was in another country, that she was still here in the Philippines.
Commissioner, I hope
Yes,
you
sir.
understand why we feel very strongly about this.
Yes, Your
Dahil
Honor.
nung panahon pong iyon, just before we discovered and shared in plenary na nakatakas na pala si Alice Go, I remember there was a hearing pangako po ng BI noon sa amin,
Yes, sir.
ni SP Pro Tempore, based on his questioning, na andito pa si Guo Huaping sa Pilipinas at hindi siya patatakasin ng BI. Yun pala at that time, she had already escaped. So, kaya po, I'm sure you can understand how strongly we feel po about this. At the same time,
understand,
na-appreciate ko po yung the report that you are making to us now sa inyong ongoing investigation. It's good to hear.
Yes,
Kino-confirm nyo po yung information namin na talagang pumasok sa KL International
And-
Airport si Guo Huaping
And it was also
July 18.
Yes, Your Honor. It was also stated that there is no record of entry into Sabah on July 19, 2024.
Opo, similar dun sa napag-alaman namin na yung stamp supposedly entering Sabah July 19 was fake.
Yes.
Unlike po yung kino-confirm nyo na rin ngayon na genuine stamp of arrival at KL International Airport on July 18. Tama
July
po?
18 yung entry po.
Opo.
There was a confirmation of the entry of the subject into Kuala Lumpur International Airport on July 18,
Opo.
2024 at 12:17, Your Honor. And in
Please
the event
proceed
that
po with your report.
in the event that there are any mistakes made in the past, we would like to rectify that, Your Honors.
And hopefully, wala nang repeat po niyan. Ang bubuin po namin hindi lang findings but recommendations,
Yes,
including
Your Honor.
through remedial legislation, ay
Yes,
para
Your Honor.
hindi na mangyari ulit yan
So po.
in the hands of BI.
But the chair, just to
Senator
clarify,
Joel.
that's the arrival you're talking about,
Arrival
July
po.
18,
Yeah.
arrival in
Yes po.
Malaysia. So that was the first time you got this information that she's already out of the country. The sighting, the
The sighting.
official sighting, official document that says she's no longer in the country. That's July 18 in Malaysia.
We confirmed, we were able to confirm it.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
only. That's the first one. The first one, you realize that she's no longer in the country. Officially.
Personally, Your Honor, when I was appointed as the OIC, I immediately sought the authorization from our mother agency to conduct the investigation. So what I did was I sent out notices and so sent out memoranda to require our terminal heads to submit their respective reports. And the confirmation that we got from impartial third-party sources was only given to us more than a week ago, Your Honor.
Yes,
The
SP Pro
confirmation.
Tempore.
Yes.
When did you get to know that Alice Go already escaped the country? Is it because of the privilege speech delivered by
Personally,
Senator
Your Honor.
Tiveros?
Personally, Your Honor, or the Bureau?
The Bureau.
The Bureau.
I cannot speak for the whole Bureau, but I only learned about it on August 19 during the day.
After the privilege speech of Senator Risa?
Yeah, Your Honor, yes. That's the truth, Your Honor.
Thank you for
About
the truth, Commissioner, and also for,
Sorry.
as the chair said earlier, updating the committee now about the results of the ongoing investigation. Can you complete your report to the committee for
Yes, Your
our
Honor.
full knowledge?
We will complete the report, Your Honor.
So pero for today, yun na po ba
For
yung
today,
naiulat sa
Yes
amin?
po, Your Honor. We can give a copy to the members of the committee. So for your study and perusal.
Yes, Senator Sherwin.
Madam Chair, just to pursue a topic. Confirmed, Commissioner, na July 18, 2024, si Ms. Guo Huaping arrived in KL 12:17 p.m.
12:17 hours po. So that would be noon.
Noon time. So, and that stamp is authentic.
What the third-party source said was, we can confirm that she entered
She
Kuala
entered
Lumpur
because of
International
that
Airport.
and the evidence is that stamp.
We started off with the query with providing them with the stamp.
Okay, and they confirmed that the stamp is authentic.
They confirmed the entry, Your Honor.
What's the difference? What's the difference? Isn't the stamp the evidence of the entry?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
So
Your Honor.
pareho lang siya.
Yes. Your
Tama?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So paano siya anong sinakyan niya? It's an airport, so obviously it's an airplane.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what are the I'm sure you've seen siguro chinek niyo yung airlines arriving at that time.
We are in the process of asking for the manifests to
Okay.
determine where she came from, where the flight to Kuala Lumpur International Airport.
She pwede siya
That's we're in the process of verifying that.
Wala pa tayong information.
Wala pa po kami.
At sigurado tayo nag-aeroplano siya. at
Yes
that time.
po. Oo.
Okay.
Papasok ng Malaysia.
When can we get that information?
We are
Because
in the
it's only government to government that can get that information.
We will try with the different airlines, Your Honor.
Can
to get the
the KL
manifests.
authority in KL airport provide that information? Alam nila lahat ng mga eroplanong pumapasok doon at that time, at that particular time.
There might be issues concerning diplomacy or
Then
we are
within
not sure,
it-
Your Honor. We had to, frankly, Your Honor, we had to do some back channeling. Your Honor.
Yeah, but what's the issue with diplomacy? It's only a flight manifest coming from an airport.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I don't see the
What
complication.
at this point, Your Honor, what we can do is, or what we've been doing is requesting from airlines as to the copy of their manifest.
Baka pag
And
airline, ang dami eh. Diba? Dapat yung airport kasi alam nila lahat ng pumapasok doon.
If I may, Senator
Yeah,
Sherwin,
go ahead.
maybe Commissioner, you could request the assistance of DFA if there are really any diplomatic considerations. Kasi kung wala naman, it seems pretty straightforward nga po.
Yes po.
Just to get the manifests from the airlines landing in KL at that
Well,
time.
what we can do, Your Honor, what we've been doing is checking our own internal records as to the ano po yung mga flights na maaring umalis ng Manila, diretso papunta po ng Kuala Lumpur. Aside from that, we have been making representations with airlines para kung ano po yung pwede lang i-reveal in accordance with their flight manifest.
But I think it's harder, sorry, Madam
Senator
Chair.
Joel.
Sorry, but I think it's harder, sir.
Yes,
Attorney Joel, no, with all due respect, parang it's harder. It's easier to go straight to the airport and find out anong airline yan. Is it
Yes
a
po, Your
commercial flight? Is it a private plane?
We will do that.
No, but as of now, you don't have any idea?
Hindi po namin ginagawa na to go directly to the airports,
To the
Your Honor.
airport?
Oho. Panay
I-
ano po,
I-
yung records po namin na we're
I just wonder why. And one more thing that I'd like to ask, how sure are you na siya yun? Because Guawaping and Alice Go can't even, ayaw man niya aminin na siya si Guawaping eh.
We had to go through channels, Your Honor, and it is a impartial third-party source. Which
And
we
that
can
is
cite.
that is what you believe in, that it is really her who arrived
Yes,
in
Your
Malaysia, July 18,
That's correct
2024.
po, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Thank you, Senator Joel. Yes, and before I call on the SP pro tempore, I agree with Senator Joel. Rather than starting from here, Pilipinas, hindi pa nga ma-identify paano siya umalis, saan exactly, when, since na-confirm yun na po na she arrived in KLIA July 18, 12, 17 p.m., then obviously it's easier to work backwards
Yes, po.
from there. Kasi, and earlier, kinonfirm ko rin through our corroborating party in Malaysia, yung DAP, Member of Parliament, na genuine yung stamp, yung tinatanong din ni Senator Sherwin kanina. So I think it's easier to
Yes po.
start from the KLIA na alam niyong lumapag siya doon kesa mag-search sa maaring pinagliparan or sampahan niya dito sa Pilipinas. SP pro
yes,
tempore. Yes,
Thank
SP
you.
pro tempore.
Attorney Joel, kasi dito, pag uwi ng pasahero dito sa atin, tinatataka ng immigration officer passport natin,
Yes, po.
arrival.
Yes po, Your
At meron sinusulat yung flight number.
Opo, Your
Di ba? Doon ba sa Kuala Lumpur, kung nakita niyo yung passport ni Alice Go, wala bang tatak na walang sinusulat na flight number or vessel number?
Wala pong negligible, wala pong nakalagay.
Walang nakasulat. Pero meron blankong doon sa stamp nila, meron nakalagay na kung paano ka nakarating doon sa Kuala Lumpur. It's either through sea or by air.
Wala pong nakalagay yung ano. Ang nakalagay lang po doon, meron hong stamp ng isang airline. But the thing is, upon verification, it was an outbound flight, hindi yung papasok ng Kuala Lumpur.
Sa arrival nakalagay outbound flight?
Doon sa ano po. Yun hong flight number. ID 177 if I'm not mistaken. Is an outbound flight. Hindi yung siya papasok
What airline was that?
I think Batik Air po, Your Honor. Batik Air po yan.
Indonesian
Batik
Air.
Indonesia?
Indonesia. Batik Air. Pero palabas po ng Kuala Lumpur yun. Hindi po papasok.
Salamat, SP pro tempore. So, if kompleto na po yung report nyo sa amin of your ongoing investigation,
Yes po, Your Honor.
ano yung pinaka-conclusion nyo about the escape of Go Huaping and her party? As of now, no? Ano yung preliminary conclusion?
She entered Malaysia via air.
Via air.
Via air on
So,
July 18.
Okay. She entered Malaysia via air. Yun
Are
yung
you,
malakas
are
na
you sure?
theory.
Are you sure? How many percent are you sure that she flew to Indonesia by air?
Malaysia.
To Malaysia.
Malaysia.
We're basing it on the confirmation as to her actual entry into Kuala Lumpur.
So
Based on that.
the revelation of Alice Go during the previous hearings that she went to Malaysia was via sea.
Mm.
It's totally false.
If she went to Malaysia via sea, it might have been through Sabah. In there is no record of entry of Alice Go into Sabah on July 19, 2024.
There was a stamp in their passports, but it was proven to be fake.
Yes.
Hindi siya
There's no
nagmamatch.
record of entry.
Opo. So walang, as far as the BI is concerned, tama po ba, Commissioner, walang record of entry ni Go Huaping and her party sa Sabah
Sabah po.
on
July
19
19,
July. Wala po.
2024.
So yung sinasabi din ni Sheila Go during the first time that she appeared, na sinasabi niyang sumakay siya sa boat is also totally false. If you conclude that
We might presume that, Your Honor.
if you conclude that they flew by air, by plane.
Yes, Your Honor. You might presume that, Your Honor.
Thank you, as SP Pro Tempore. Yes, Senator Sherwin.
Madam Chair, on the same topic, Commissioner, I suggest kasi meron na tayong time,
Yes, po.
meron na tayong date, meron tayong stamp. We can also get the CCTV. No? I would assume that in KL Airport may CCTV yan. And then second, KL Airport, malaking airport to .
Yes po, Your Honor.
So pagtatanungin natin yung isa-isang airlines, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. So it's we need to go to the airport. They have all the manifest. Lahat ng airline na pumapasok on that particular day, pwede nating kunin yung mga airlines and work. Tama nga, sabi nga ni Chairperson, work back para makita natin.
We were
Kasi
tracing it back, Your Honor.
That is an important clue .
Yes po, Your Honor.
Stamp on July 18. It's a clue that we can already start working on.
Yes, Your Honor. We will do that, Your
And
Honor.
of course, pag galing Pilipinas yan, then there's an issue on how she managed to board a plane and leave the Philippines.
At least natuldukan na po yung date of entry niya at oras papasok ng Malaysia. So all we need to do is trace back. So at least yung pong time frame at timeline natin, na limit na po natin.
Pwede ko bang tanungin, Madam Chair, si Ms. Go?
Yes,
Bakit nga
Ms.
may
Go.
time, bakit nga merong kang July 18 entry in KL?
Sen, regarding po that I invoke my right against self-incrimination po. Thank you po.
Salamat, Sen Sherwin. Okay, since salamat Commissioner Viado.
You're welcome po, Your
Since sinabi kanina ni Attorney Tago ng DFA na may coordination ng department sa BI at saka sa NICA sa matters ng visas, pwede pong matanong ang NICA. Sino po yung ating resource person from NICA? Yes, Secretary. Director General?
Deputy, Madam Chair.
Deputy Director General Asedillo. Yes, sir. So after the Al Jazeera documentary, anong steps ang in-undertake nyo para i-validate yung mga claims doon?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Without going through the details, we would like to confirm we have parallel efforts to verify as to first, whether or not Xie Zhijiang is a bona fide MSS personnel. Two, to check on his story regarding his so-called recruitment in our country. And of course, Madam Chair, its implication as to the person and the circumstances of one Miss Go Huaping.
Okay. As far as you can tell us, ano yung pagkaalam nyo sa bona fides ni Xie Zhijiang?
While we await the results of our parallel efforts, Madam Chair, what we could initially inform the committee are the parallels between Mr. Xie Zhijiang and Go Huaping. We will deal with those specifics. Again, we'd be happy to provide the committee during closed door discussions. and tie it up, Madam Chair, with our current efforts in the National Intelligence Committee as to the extent of the united front work of the Chinese Communist Party and mainland China, Madam Chair.
Madam
Salamat,
Chair?
Deputy.
Well,
Yes, Senator De La Rosa.
Yes, I would like to ask the Deputy Director General ng NICA. Uh, uh, are you optimistic, Madam Chair? Are you optimistic, the Deputy Director is if we can get that official confirmation or denial coming from Chinese government sources as to the connection of this Ma Dongli to the MSS and also yung si
Xi
Jiang. Are you confident? Are you optimistic na makakuha tayo ng confirmation?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
Your
Deputy.
Honor, given the state of our affairs with mainland China, it would be hard to speak as to the level of cooperation we can expect from said country. However, there are still two other factors that may determine whether or not we can establish if Xi Jiang is a bona fide MSS agent. One is the cooperation of our Thai partners who have jurisdiction, rather who have custody of Xi Jiang. And second, the strength of the efforts of our, again, the parallel efforts that we have without divulging the specifics, Madam Chair, as to the results yet of that parallel effort.
So if I may, Senator De La Rosa, NICA will be coordinating with DFA and DOJ, possibly, para ma-access ng gobyerno natin si Xi Jiang at makuha yung mga impormasyon na kailangan para maproteksyonan nyo ang gobyerno?
Madam Chair, it goes without saying that we are very much willing to cooperate. However, by the nature of our work also, you're aware that there are also other channels that we may be able to avail of.
All the better for the sake of our nation's safety. Yes,
Correct, Madam
Senator
Chair.
De La Rosa.
I'm sure NICA has a very extensive source of information, and they can get it from other sources. If they cannot get it officially from China, then they have their other sources. So I hope they will.
New Del Monte Fruity Zing. Bring zing into adulting.
You pounce on that, Deputy Director General, para mapapalagay ang taong bayan na tayo'y alam natin kung sinong kalaban natin, sinong hindi natin. Security ang pag-usapan. Everyone can be restless pagdating sa issue na yan. Yun lang, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you po, Senator De La Rosa. So Deputy Asedillo, for those three subjects of your parallel efforts right now, yung bona fides ni Xi Jiang, then pangalawa, sorry, what was the second point? And then the third was any relation to Guo Huaping. What was the second subject of your parallel efforts?
Madam Chair, there was mention in the documentary
Yes.
that allegedly Xi Jiang was recruited here in the Philippines.
Right.
We would like to look into that as well.
Okay. So for these three subjects nung parallel efforts ninyo, kahit in broad strokes, ano pa ba yung ma-share nyo sa komite sa findings nyo so far?
Madam Chair, these are ancillary to the proceedings today. If you would allow, they are a bit lengthy po.
How long? How lengthy? How many minutes?
This would probably be a few minutes lang po, but I think this would highlight what has so far been uncovered in this committee and how this ties up with the current efforts of the legislature to plug the gaps and the loopholes in our system.
Please
And-
proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
2 minutes.
Once again, good afternoon to the committee, Madam Chair. Thank you for this opportunity. Without causing undue anti-Chinese hysteria.
If I may, Deputy Cedillo, this is not anti any country. This is really anti abuse of the rights of women, children, workers. In fact, alam naman po ng lahat, marami sa ni-rescue na human trafficking victims ay mga Chino mismo. So this is anti yung pogo and criminal activities na kinakanlong nila. So please proceed, Deputy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Very well understood. I think it is important for the committee and our nation to understand the three possible trajectories of massive Chinese presence in our country. One, we have been host to, at various points of our history, we have been host to massive Chinese diaspora. Is this latest influx part of that long-standing trend, or is this something else? Two, there is also the potential that Chinese criminal elements have relocated into our country, having found a safe haven here. Three, this could be related to the first and second part of a genuine Chinese Communist Party and Chinese government effort to infiltrate, establish a foothold, and ultimately undermine the Philippines and its national interests, whether our foreign policy or our domestic affairs. The three I mentioned cannot be viewed in isolation anymore, generally because of the authoritarian nature of the Chinese government, and specifically because of a piece of Chinese legislation, the National Intelligence Law of 2017, that compels Chinese citizens and entities, even foreign ones operating in China, to cooperate with security and intelligence agencies. And it is a very broad mandate, specifically Article 7. The United Front, which the chairperson earlier adverted to, must be understood not just as a Chinese Communist Party arm, but also as a broad system involving agencies, social organizations, businesses, universities, research institutes, and individuals carrying out United Front work activities. It is at once a dedicated body within the Chinese party state apparatus and a galaxy of actors orbiting around it. Another aspect to United Front work, Madam Chair, is its broad spectrum, whose depth is often underestimated, ranging from open operations, that is, public diplomacy undertaken by ambassadors across the world, to clandestine operations, which we are now seeing part of, to undermine social cohesion, exacerbate racial tension, influence politics, harm media integrity, facilitate espionage, and increase unsupervised technology transfer. While United Front work is not an intelligence service per se, it can nevertheless offer a cover for intelligence officers carrying out clandestine actions and recruitment of local agents, our very own Filipinos, acting for and in behalf of the CCP and the Chinese government, whether or not they are conscious of it. Since coming to power in 2012, President Xi Jinping has reinvigorated the United Front, which he was already familiar with, his father being a contributor to it during his early days. In May 2015, the United Front work was raised to the rank of Central Conference, thereby acknowledging its increased importance. The most distinctive characteristic of United Front work in the Xi Jinping era consists more than ever on the strategic importance of the United Front and the necessity to improve its coordination. Lastly, Madam Chair, the United Front is therefore a Communist Party policy devised to develop and reinforce its hegemony. The activities of the United Front consist in allying with or neutralizing groups situated outside the sphere of control of the Chinese Communist Party to ensure its role as the sole legitimate representative of the Chinese people. Concretely, this means eliminating domestic and external enemies, controlling groups that could defy CCP authority, building a coalition around the party in order to serve its interests, and projecting influence abroad in such a way that even individuals and groups based in liberal societies such as ours are brought to censor themselves and avoid taking a position against the Chinese Communist Party. So in conclusion, Madam Chair, whether or not we are able to establish the espionage activities of both Xie Zhijiang and Wan Guohuaping, we already see, Madam Chair, the extent of malign activities of a certain nation in our country. And as a, Madam Chair, if you will permit, this has an impact on the current efforts of the Senate, especially in one, encouraging all our government agencies and even our local government units to pursue prudence and due diligence in their dealings with entities from mainland China. Even noting the efforts previously of our Senate Economic Affairs under Senator Win and our Senate Committee on Public Order and Safety, we already saw the corrosive effects of the POGOs earlier. I think this was last year. Therefore, we encourage the efforts of Senator Jinggoy Estrada in amending our Commonwealth-era espionage law and combining it with efforts to draft an anti-foreign interference law. Also, the strengthening of focal agency measures pertaining to, for example, our birth certificate, which has become the entry point for all other fake documents like passports, LTO driver's licenses, and the like. Third, related to the previous measure, to strengthen the counterintelligence efforts, not just across defense, military, and intelligence agencies, but even those government agencies that may have indirect security implications. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Deputy Asedillo. Pati sa pagtukoy at pag-affirm ng mga areas for remedial legislation na pinapahalagan talaga ng komite namin as we have gone through these successive hearings. Yung brief but very substantive report nyo prefigures some of my follow-up questions and I think gives a very important, not just cautionary note, pero sabi nyo nga paalala o mungkahi sa lahat nating nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno. So it's an understatement almost to say na plausible yung Al Jazeera documentary. Not 100% certain but at least plausible. Tama po ba, Deputy?
Yes, Madam Chair. If I was referring earlier to certain common elements between
At Lala Move, we make delivery fast and simple, no matter what you've got to send. We're a friend indeed to those in need of an expert delivery friend. It's never been easier. On demand, we move the things that matter to you.
Ms. Guo Huaping and Xie Zhijiang, if you can notice between them, Madam Chair, they were practically plucked out of obscurity and they suddenly become awash with cash, which allowed them to foray into business and eventually, in the case of Ms. Guo Huaping, even a foray into politics. Again, without discounting the possibility that this is in aid of espionage activities, on the basis alone that they are able to penetrate various agencies of government, undermine various systems existing within our country, this becomes a very, very, shall we say, insightful case for every one of us to take note, Madam Chair, not just us in the national security sector.
Opo. So, kaya siguro that accounts for the great interest ng ating mga kababayan sa particular case study na to. And dahil napaka-interesante in that way also si Xie Zhijiang, sinikap na ba ng NICA makipag-ugnayan kay Xie?
Yes, Madam Chair. Again, without divulging further detail, there is indeed such an effort.
Okay. Now, one thing that, and nabanggit nyo na rin kanina, almost indirectly, Deputy, one thing that stood out for me, dun sa Zoom interview namin kay Wang Fugwe, yung sinabi niyang not all the spies are Chinese. Tumitingin din ba kayo sa mga alegasyon na may mga kababayan nating espiyang Pilipino pero nagsisilbi sa interes ng dayuhang bansa?
Madam Chair, there are at least three ways that this may be achieved. One is for the Chinese government to make use of their massive diaspora, not just here in the Philippines, but all across the globe. Second is the use of our own citizens, either through the promise of money and other enticements, whether or not sila po ay sold doon po sa gustong gawin ng CCP. On the mere fact po that there are enticements, madali pong makuha ang loob nila. A third, Madam Chair, although wala pa po kaming documented instance of this in our country, there is one instance in the United States that the Chinese government used a Taiwanese citizen to access sensitive information within the US government, Madam Chair, because precisely that Taiwanese citizen would be a throw-off. Hindi po siya paghinalaan given the strong alliance of these two countries, of Taiwan with the US, pero siya po yung tinarget at siya po yung nakuha ng Chinese government.
At yung animosity din supposedly between Beijing and Taipei. Gusto ko lang, before I go on to my next question, gusto ko lang i-make of record dahil 2 beses nang nabanggit ito and kahit papano nababahala ako eh. I know it's necessary dun sa pag-aaral nyo sa 3 possible trajectories, 3 paraan, pero nababanggit talaga yung massive diaspora. And gusto ko lang ulit i-affirm na Chinese Filipinos are Filipinos. At yung Chinese-Filipino community dito sa atin, on many occasions, ang majority sa kanila talagang explicit sumusuporta sa Philippine national interest. And in particular, ilang pagkakataon tumulong mismo sa investigasyong ito ng Committee on Women. I wouldn't be surprised kung sa Committee on Economic Affairs, on Public Safety and Dangerous Drugs, even Committee on Labor na isa pa sa mga Senate committees na nag-imbestiga laban sa POGO. So kaugnay nung pinag-usapan natin kanina that this is not about anti-China or anti-Chinese dahil tumutulong din po tayo sa mga Chinong victim survivors ng human trafficking. In the same way, gusto ko lang i-make of sarili kong maternal great-grandmother, pure Chinese. Halos lahat siguro tayo around the table, we have the heritage as well. So I just wanted to make that of record while appreciating yung difficult task na kailangan ginagawa ng intelligence community natin in this very globalized world, no? Na nagiging, sabi nyo nga kanina, Deputy, it's very complex. Deputy, an earlier school of thought was that hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng spies sa POGO kasi galit ang China sa POGO. Galit ang China sa casino bosses. And in fact, this was the rebuttal of our critics when we first surfaced the idea of espionage activities in Bamba na hindi rin naman namin inimbento kasi nung nung nag-ocular inspection kami doon pagkatapos ng raid, mismong yung mga law enforcement and I suppose intel persons natin doon ay nagsabing meron din kaming iniimbestiga na possible hacking, possible interception ng government communications at government websites. So pagkatapos ng unang rebuttal na ganun, lumalabas unti-unti ang ebidensya hanggang ngayon. First, dun sa defected agent na si alias Eric, who penetrated Cambodia's scam compounds. Tapos yung Washington Post report about criminal networks in Myanmar enjoying protection from the Chinese government. And now itong Shi Zhejiang, allegedly both billionaire boss at saka MSS agent na iniimbestigan nyo pa. So sang-ayon ba kayo, Deputy, sa akin na itong walang spy sa POGO kasi galit ang China sa POGO theory, dapat abandonahin na ito?
Madam Chair, for us to fully understand to what ends the CCP and the Chinese government will go or to what lengths they will go, we first have to understand that their ideology is rooted in Marxist-Leninist doctrine. Ang ibig po sabihin nun, they don't have any qualms about what we would call tactical alliances. And these tactical alliances may involve, for example, what we call whitelist parties. Ano po itong mga whitelist parties? Ito po yung mga partido, political parties that don't have very strong ideological leanings. So, pwede po silang makipag-alyansa sa mga ganong klaseng partido. But more importantly, Madam Chair, there has now been there's been established evidence that even po yung mga Chinese triad groups have been used by several levels of subterfuge, either to the MSS or through other means. Sila po ay ginagamit din. If the only way to gain a foothold, we have seen this in other countries and probably even in our own country, if one of the ways to establish foothold is to establish, for example, a gambling den or other means of illicit activity, then they will resort to that, Madam Chair. Again, because it is deeply rooted in their doctrine. Wala po silang pinipili na pamamaraan as long as it will ultimately serve the party's ends.
Well, for the record lang, may mga nagfi-feedback din na ano ko rin sa kalooban ko. Actually, hindi na po Marxist-Leninist ang China eh. Maoist na lang siya. Opo. And may mga Marxista, may mga Marxist-Leninist dito sa Pilipinas na kumikilos sa legal at kontra din sa ganitong o at anumang klasing pang-aabuso ng China, bansang China o gobyernong China dito po sa atin. Just for the record, Deputy. And lastly po for Nika, for today, yung isa pang remarkable thing that emerged dun sa statement ni Wang Fugoy, yung video statement niya dun sa video interview, ay yung alegasyon na sabi niya, the Chinese government uses the weaknesses of the individuals they want to tap to control them. At ang si Guo Huaping daw, ang weakness daw niya ay yung defective nationality niya. Ang dami pong lumabas dito sa Senate hearings, sa hearings ng House, ng Quadcom na how shall birth certificate. So then it seems to me that this network of field agents could be very vast. Baka hindi iisa lang. So may mga comments po ba ang Nika dito?
Madam Chair, I earlier mentioned the National Intelligence Committee, which meets regularly. Mataas po yan sa agenda ng NIC. And the NIC is also replicated at the regional level. When we say replicated po, lahat po ng government agencies as represented in the National Intelligence Committee chaired by the DG of NICA are also represented in the regional po. Ito po kinakascade na po natin pababa kasi po napansin ho natin whether we're talking about legitimate or cover businesses, higher education institutions, sister city agreements, cultural exchanges like the Confucius Institutes, even in our critical infra, the influx of illegal drugs, the acquisition of real estate, lahat po ito pinapasukan na po ng particular na bansa na pinag-uusapan natin. Kaya po ang pagtingin na po natin dito, not just at the national level, tinitingnan na rin po natin at the local government level po, Madam Chair.
We must break the will of our enemy and end this war.
The Crown will pursue victory at any cost.
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
You must see in me a ruler. And the symbols of authority are not jewels and gowns, but the shield and the sword.
Salamat. Maraming salamat, Deputy Director General Asidilio. Dalawang tanong lang para kay Mr. Tony Yang. So could I ask Miss Carolyn, tama po ba, to come to the mic para? Although sir, di pa rin ako naniniwala na hindi kayo marunong mag-Tagalog o Bisaya ng maayos. Tingin ko naiintindihan niyo yung mga sinasabi namin lahat. But anyway, sige, Miss Carolyn. Salamat. So, unang tanong ko po, Mr. Yang, kilala nyo ba si Shi Zhejiang? I want to show you this paper from the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. Ang sabi po dito sa OCCRP paper, another brother, meaning a Yang brother, shares the title of honorary president of the Philippine Chinese Youth Chamber of Commerce with Shi Lungkai, another Belt and Road entrepreneur handling huge sums of planned investments in Southeast Asia. Ayon sa OCCRP paper na ito, kapatid daw ito ni Michael Yang. So it's either kayo po o si Hong Jiang Yang. At ito daw si Shi Lungkai ay isang alias ni Shi Zhejiang. So yan na muna siguro, Miss Caroline. Kung kilala ni Mr. Yang itong si Shi Zhejiang.
请问杨先生，您是否认识这位佘子江先生？
不认识。
I don't know him.
You don't know Shi Zhejiang. Do you know Shi Lungkai?
您认识佘陆改吗？
不认识。
Not, I don't know him.
You don't know him. Kayo ba o si Hong Jiang Yang ang honorary president of the Philippine Chinese Youth Chamber of Commerce?
你还是那个洪江林，就是这个年轻商会的名誉理事长吗？您是这个年轻商会的理事长吗？是。No, it's not. I'm not the honorary president of the Youth Chamber of Commerce.
So it's Hong Jiang Yang who is the honorary president of the Philippine Chinese Youth Chamber of Commerce.
那你知道这个洪江阳先生他是否这个年轻商会的名誉理事长吗？
我不知道他是不是那个名誉会长，我不知道。
I do not know if he is the honorary president of this Youth Chamber of Commerce.
You do not know. So if you don't know, it's possible that he is the honorary president, joint with Shi Zhejiang or Shi Lungkai. Sabi din po sa report na ito na in 2017, your brothers Hong Ming and Hong Jiang Yang attended a Chinese Communist Party-sponsored conference in Beijing for overseas nationals as Philippine representatives of the All China Federation of Returned Overseas Chinese. Pakilang, Miss Caroline.
这里也据说，在2017年，你有参与，就是中国共产党他们举办的一个会议，你能证明这是对还是不对呢？对。
Your mic, sir.
我
See, sir, you understand me even in English.
我
Sige po.
没有去参加过这种会议啊。
I never attended any of those kinds of conferences.
Not you, sir. Your brothers, Hong Jiang and Hong Ming Yang, attended according to this report.
您的兄弟洪明和洪坚阳，他们是否参加这个会议？
这个我就不知道了。我们兄弟，我跟他们没有什么来往。
Okay. I'm not aware of this with my brothers because I don't have any interaction with them.
Well, you are the eldest brother. Even in Filipino and Chinese Filipino families, let alone pure Chinese families, I am sure the eldest brother or eldest sister knows. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Mr. Yang, I want to show you this other document. This is from the next document.
Pay later, pay in installments kahit walang credit card, bilis yan. That's why I love Bilis. You can shop online, in-store everywhere, settle bills, get cash, pay.
This is from the 10th National Congress of Returned Overseas Chinese. This is under the auspices of the Communist Party of China. And there are names here, Yang Hongjiang and Yang Hongming. So are you and your brothers assets of the Chinese Communist Party?
看看这个文件里面，这个名单有你的弟弟的名字，就是杨洪江，还有杨洪明。那您是否能确认他们俩是否这个党员？
这个我就不知道了，他们是不是党员，我真的不知道。
I do not know if they are members of this group.
Well, this was the 10th National Congress of Returned Overseas Chinese. This 10th National Congress was organized by the Communist Party of China, and Yang Hongjiang and Yang Hongming, your two brothers, were delegates to this Congress.
那这里有说明你的两位弟弟杨洪强和杨洪明他们就是当做这个会议的代表。那您怎么说？I'm not aware of this.
You're not aware. All right. I am informing you of this. This is a document of the Congress itself, organized by the Chinese Communist Party itself. And lastly for today, Mr. Yang, kilala nyo ba si Ma Dongli?
最后一个问题，您是否认识这个马东黎先生？
不认识。
I don't know him.
You don't know Ma Dongli. So I will leave this for now. But I know that a revelation about the Yang brothers is forthcoming when government reaches Zhejiang. Lastly, Mr. Sorry, Miss Caroline, please tell him first.
只是通知您，那如果我们对这个调查有进展的话，我们也会邀请他们两个。
好。
Okay. And just a follow-up question, Mr. Yang. Member ba kayo sa kahit anong Chinese organization dito or overseas?
请问你在菲律宾或是在国内有没有做一个任何集团的或是任何一个商会的会员呢？
我在卡加园那个中国商会，卡加园延续中国商会，我是里面的会员。
So I am a member of the Chinese Business Chamber of Commerce in Cagayan de Oro City.
All right. Yun lamang.
只有这个吗？
Madam Chair.
只有这个，有没有其他的？
他的没有了，就这个。
It's only this one.
Only this one. Senator De La Rosa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since yung topic ay nadung kang Mr. Yang, pwede ko na rin idiretso sa PBDIC, Madam Chair. May I know from PBDIC if what is the nature of your dealings with the company of Mr. Tony Yang inside your premises?
PBDEC resource person, nasaan po kayo?
PBDIC.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Medrano.
Yes,
Attorney
good
Medrano.
afternoon, Madam Chair. My name is Attorney Benjamin Medrano. I'm the acting Deputy Administrator for Operations in PBDEC. So with me today is Attorney Lizelle Gusay, the acting Chief of the Legal Services Division. Thank you for your time. So the question is, what is the dealing between Tony Yang and PBDEC? So what?
Yeah, because lumabas during the last hearing that yung kanyang steel company is situated inside your premises. So ano bang arrangement ninyo? Locator lang ba sila? Nagrerenta ba sila or what?
Yes, Madam Chair. So PBDEC is essentially a landlord. So it is the Subic of the South, right? So it's located in northern Mindanao. It's a 3,000 hectare estate. And then Phil Sanjia registered as a locator back in 2019 during the term of Administrator Quijano. So they are a registered locator. I'm referring to the company, Philippine Sanjia Steel Development Corporation.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Go ahead. No, I would just like to
Senator Joel.
ask Madam Chair, ano yung kontrata nitong Sanjia sa inyo? Locator siya, and you were talking about some number of hectares in the land, if I'm not mistaken, in Tagoloan. Is that where it is?
Yes. So it's situated in Tagoloan and Villanueva. It's composed of two municipalities in Misamis Oriental. So
Yes, but Sanjia is a locator operating in Tagoloan lang.
Yes,
And how many
Madam Chair.
hectares are they leasing?
If I recall, it's from our records, it's around 62 hectares.
62 hectares. Can you also, Madam Chair, we asked that we be given a copy of their contract. You have a contract for sure, right?
Yes, in fact, Madam Chair, we provided the committee through the Chief Legislative Officer all the copies of the documents relating to Phil Sanchia. Last weekend, the team worked day and night to collate all the documents and provided them last weekend.
Okay, so they started when? You made mention 20 or
So the application was made back in 2018.
2018,
and
that's
then
a 25-year lease. Is that correct?
yes, Madam Chair.
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may, just one last, because I've seen this report about PBDEC's own report, and it was noted that PBDEC actually flagged Sanjia for alleged rice and drug smuggling. You know, I was just wondering because I don't think that when you came up with the contract, ano ba yung parte ng contract na yon? Yung contract ba na yon ay because I can show you the site development plan. Nagulat ho ako, may wharf dito, mayroong pumapasok na mga shipping companies or malalaking barko. So kung ganoon, hindi ba dapat merong customs at ano ito? Meron po itong nagma-manage, nagre-regulate nito because it is no longer part of PBDEC's jurisdiction na papasok ang international shipping company doon sa lugar na yon. Is that correct?
So it's like this, Madam Chair, if I may. So PBDEC owns the foreshore and the offshore of Tagol 1 and Villanueva. It has title to the foreshore and offshore. The locators, some of them, they likewise lease the foreshore and offshore. So we have several locators there, like San Miguel, like FDC. They have their own. They lease the foreshore and offshore of PBDEC.
My only question, Your Honor, is that is Sanjia allowed to operate a commercial port?
They
are not.
They did apply for.
They can apply through PBDEC.
They did lease the foreshore and offshore and applied to register as a commercial port operator back in 2019 or 2020.
And live pa rin po yan, hindi nyo yan terminate.
It is currently a live contract.
Live. In Section 19 of the contract, Madam Chair, Section 19, signed by alias Antonio Lim. Are you aware of this? It provides that the lessee agrees to not use or permit the use of the leased premises or any part thereof for any immoral and other purposes prohibited by law. In 2021, in your own report, PBDEC noted that Sanjia allegedly meron pong mga rice and drug smuggling at their port inside PBDEC. Anong ginawa niyo ho dito?
So that report we've submitted to the committee, right? So there was an alleged incident back in 2021, which was the PBDEC side was alerted, and initially, from what I read from the report, initially the administrator back then halted.
Sa Del Monte Spaghetti, birthday mas happy. Spaghetti pampahappy. Best birthday with a family.
Best birthday ever pag may Del Monte Spaghetti sa get-together.
The shipment because of at that time they did not yet obtain a permit to operate, right? But eventually the agency which has jurisdiction over the control of the borders and as well as the collection of the fees and tariffs they intervene.
That is your opinion, sir. I'm sorry. That is your opinion. Is
Uh,
that your opinion or that is what your report says?
That is what our report says.
That is not under your jurisdiction. It is under your jurisdiction because Sanjay is inside the PBTEX area.
No, may I clarify, Madam Chair? So FIBIDEC, right, is the owner of the as the owner of the foreshore and offshore. It is also the the powers of FIBIDEC is control over the safety of the port. It is another agency which has jurisdiction over the cargoes. So in that sense, we do not have a say in the
No, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Number one, are you allowed to operate a commercial port? You are allowed under your
yes, we are. In
charter?
fact,
Under your charter, and no national government agency is actually regulating the ins and outs of that commercial port.
And
that's absurd.
no, we were created.
Can you just answer my question, sir, so we don't go around the bushes? Are you allowed?
Yes, Madam Chair.
And you are not being regulated by any government agency, national government agency, customs? We have customs.
PTA.
PTA?
No, we are not.
PTA? Well, you're not. And when you made that report that you flagged Sanjia for alleged rice and drug smuggling, what happened? Isn't it, again, I mentioned you section 19 of the contract. Isn't it that is already a ground to terminate the contract of Sanjia to FIBIDEC?
Senator Joel, if I may. Yeah, just
Senator
short,
De La
short,
Rosa.
short interjection. Attorney, who was that administrator during that time that made that report of rice and drug smuggling inside that facility?
Back in 2021, Madam Chair, the administrator was Pompey Lavinia.
Still the administrator today.
No more.
What is he now in PBDEC? Kasi inimbitahan po siya ng komite, nag-reply sila.
He's no longer with FIBIDEC.
Ano na po siya sa... Wala na siyang position sa PBDEC?
No more, Madam Chair.
Alright. Pero at least sinagot niya yung imbitasyon ng komite. Hindi lang sila makapunta ngayon.
I am not...
No, I'm just informing
Okay.
everyone.
So again, Madam Chair, because this is in aid of legislation. One, it feels so weird, Madam Chair, that a locator can actually put up a wharf and operate a commercial port, Madam Chair. And under your nose, you were saying that you yourselves came up with a report saying that you flagged down Sanjia for alleged rice and drug smuggling, and yet you cannot do anything to terminate the contract.
Can I answer, Madam Chair?
Please do.
The report stated that the agency which has control over the cargoes, right, cleared it, and at that time the management did contact NICA, and then NICA also confirmed that there was no alert order which was issued on the cargo. So we had no jurisdiction over the
Madam Chair, and that is why, sorry,
Yeah.
I cannot allow, as a Senator of the Republic of the Philippines, I cannot allow PBDEC to operate like that. All of a sudden, hugas kamay na kayo, nakahuli kayong smuggler, nakahuli kayo ng rice smuggling, drug smuggling, tapos wala na, hugas kamay na kayo, wala kayong jurisdiction. And yet, you can actually operate a commercial port. What did you do? There are reports, I have gotten different kinds of reports, and they were saying that a certain person from the, please correct me if I'm wrong, a certain person from the Bureau of Customs, inarbor ito, at kayo naman, binigay nyo na lang. At sasabihin nyo ngayon na wala kayong jurisdiction. How could you say you don't have any jurisdiction?
It's just not the mandate of FIBIDEC, Mr. Chair.
How could you have a mandate, first and foremost, to operate such and give the lessee, the locator, to actually operate a commercial port? And then you're now saying wala na kayong jurisdiction. But please answer my question. Is there someone from Bureau of Customs na nagsabi na kami na ang magte-take over niyan?
I believe it was stated in the report.
In the report, that's why. So it's in the report. Why are you not saying it? Because you did not follow it up. Because you did not do anything else afterwards. Is that correct?
I'm not
That is the
sure what
problem.
happened.
Kung inutil na yung PBDEC natin, eh wala tayong aasahan talaga. Magpasmagel tayo ng kahit na ano dito. May we ask PAOK, sir, PAOK, why was there undue haste to allow Sanjia to become a commercial port after the smuggling of rice was reported?
What we could share to the committee is merely based on a report that we were able to obtain. But this report is from 2021. The report is for the chairman and members of PVDEC, IA Board of Directors. Part of the report indicates paragraph 8 at 1:11:15 p.m. of February 2021, Attorney Gusay informed the administrator that she has verified with Bureau of Customs Collector John Simon by phone call that the documents of the importation are in order, and that the Bureau of Customs has also verified with the regional director of NICA that there is no alert order for the importation and so on and so forth. And towards the end of the paragraph, a certain attorney Noe L. Espidillo Jr. disclosed that PVDEC will be in trouble if the cargo was not released immediately.
For the record, that was Director Casio of PAOK. And I think the Attorney Kusay mentioned in the report is also present as a resource person today for PVDEC.
Madam Chair, may we ask if the one who signed the contract, itong si Antonio Lim o si Tony Yang also, is he aware of this incident? And Ms. Carol, if you can relay, kahit na alam ko na intindihan niya na tayo dito, anong nangyari dito? Is he denying the fact that there was rice smuggling that's happening in his company?
Ms. Caroline, please.
请问一下，因为我们现在在讲关于这个合约，上面有写上你的签名，有 Antonio Lim 的签名。那请问您是否对这件事，这个大米走私的事件，您是不是知道这件事？
这件事我知道啊，不是走私啊，正规到了啊。
I know of this incident, but I know that this is not smuggling. This is through a legal process.
Of drugs?
And the rice. The rice.
How could it be a process? That's part of your contract? A part of your contract, a steel company, nagpapadala na, bumabagsak dun yung mga bigas dun sa kanyang port? How can it be legal? Is PBDEC also saying it is legal? Granting without admitting it's not drugs. Is it legal?
Madam Chair,
Attorney Medrano.
may I refer you to Attorney Liza? She's present and she can expound on it further.
Yes,
Please, thank you.
Attorney. Attorney, were you able to take the oath earlier? You were po. Please take your seat.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and honorable senators. The question is if it was illegal or if it was legal importation. In the first place, when PVDEC entered into a contract of agreement with Philsanja, everything was in order. We relied on the proper government agencies to vet the identities of the persons who were doing the contract signing with us.
What are these government agencies?
SP pro tempore.
They actually, Senator Potempore, they actually gave us a copy of their application, and it was the Securities and Exchange Commission who provided us the articles of incorporation telling that Mr. Antonio Lim was
New Centrum Kids multivitamin gummies for growing kids. Try now. Mahalagang
was a Filipino.
Oh, wow. Comsec is SEC here today. Please come forward for any questions.
And if I may, Madam
Senator
Chair,
Joel.
in the contract that Sanjia signed with PVDEC, Was it part of the contract to actually allow Sanjia to become a commercial port, Your Honor?
Yes, please, Attorney. Kusay,
Yes.
no? Attorney Kusay.
Yes po. They applied for a permit to operate as a commercial port. However, the board of directors provided the approval subject to conditions.
And what are
One,
these conditions?
they have to go through the process of publication, and they have to have a public consultation on the stakeholders on their operations. And the second was that they will not engage on containerized cargo. They can
Exactly.
go bulk and break bulk because it's another port operator, our concessionaire, who has, yes, the containerized cargo.
You will no longer belabor the point, Madam Chair. It's clear as crystal, Madam Chair, that the